Public disclaimer. Young children and some adults have found this program offensive. They're pussies, but they found it offensive. And in other words, things we say include fuck, pussy, shit, tits, the usual. Please, talk about it. Ask your parents. Birds and the bees?
Welcome to Around the Reel with your hosts, Aaron Carlson, Charles Lawson, and Samantha Hanna. Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Dude, I'm trending on Tubi. I'm trending on Tubi right now, you know what I mean? Just because of that.
You're tubing on trend? Oh, because you're brown?
Yeah, that's right.
We're tubing on trending.
You're chubby on Tubi?
No, my Tubi's chubby.
You got a fat TV.
Yep. It's all about the girth, baby. Yeah, that's why it's like we were just talking about that, Jay, on the way over here about the urban films on Tubi because Alok because Alok just released that Pay the Lady.
Yeah.
And I love the title.
You thinking about getting in on that, doing something kind of hood?
Well, I mean, it's trending, so we're trying to get in on the trending.
I don't know. That's the thing. It's like, could I write an urban film? No.
Absolutely not.
I can't
Aaron,
do it. I'm so white.
We would have to use our white teenage daughter or 20-year-old daughters to figure out how to make an urban film.
Yes,
Literally.
I can't do it. I suck so bad.
Our daughter could do better.
She could. I grew up in a time where I remember how it was, but I don't know if it's like that now. You know,
Probably not. No, it's
I don't
definitely
know.
not.
And if it is like that, then maybe I could pull it off, but I don't know.
It's not like that.
You could do it.
You know,
make it a timepiece.
True.
You could. I interviewed a woman on my channel, Toy Styles. She's a author. She made her bones doing urban fiction, like maybe almost 15 years ago.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Like pretty popular. Like she's had like bestsellers and stuff. She
Right.
started making movies and, you know, like done well with them. She was watching my channel and like picked some stuff up.
Right.
And anyway, she was, because we were talking about it, and she was saying that like the ones that do well, and you can always tell. Like, you know, it's not, it doesn't have so much to do with the quality of them, or, you know, even sometimes the storytelling, but it's like it's the authenticity.
You know,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
buy that.
That's
I buy
what I'm
that.
saying. That's what worries me.
Definitely.
Yeah, Aaron can pull off the authenticity.
I don't think I could.
Pull up the authenticity.
No, my black dude would
to
come
be
walking in and be
100%
like,
honest, that's why I don't do it.
Yeah.
To be 100%
Right.
honest, because
No,
it would
that's-
just, it would
that's
be
honest,
inauthentic.
yeah. Most black guys don't say awesome and badass. They just don't.
Yeah.
Well,
They don't say that.
They don't say no joke every other word.
No, they
and-
don't. No.
You know why?
Why?
Because they're not that.
I'm very authentic.
Aaron,
I am me.
you're unique.
I am me. I like the word authentic better.
Yeah.
You know, we can be authentic with a lot of things, but I'm not so sure we would be authentic with that.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be cool.
I have there's a filmmaker I know who I won't say his name, but you know, he's not African American, and he's making a few of them, and it's quite obvious that the movies are made by like someone who is not, you know what I mean?
You're trying to
Like-
cash
like-
in
like-
on the what's hip.
Yeah. Like it's cast correctly, but they're, you know, like the words coming out of their mouths are not.
Just You
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to let
Oh,
that.
that's
You need to
funny.
let that cast take over and just
Yeah,
improvise
just-
those lines.
Here's
Just-
the premise.
Yeah, here's the premise. You guys do your thing.
Yeah.
Can you darken up the script a little bit for me? I can't write.
Oh my
I
God.
can't write it with color.
Oh,
You know, I just heard another embarrassing story about a producer.
I love you, Jay. I love you.
Again, I won't, you know, name
Sure.
them.
Yeah, no.
But so they were working with an actress, African American actress, who also happened to be lesbian, and so like in the story, like her character was lesbian, and so like, you know, the producers were like going on and on about, you know, we're really good to, you know, we're really happy to be able to tell your story, and you know, like they were, you know, the virtue signaling kind of stuff, and they went on and on about it to the point where she was like really uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I bet, dude.
bet.
Because like just like every single time a new producer would come in the room, they would start talking about that.
Oh,
So-
God, poor child.
Yeah, people seem to
That's too
lose
bad.
focus on like how
Tact.
awkward that is. Yeah, it's just like, okay, I get it.
Well,
Thank
you know, you
yeah,
can.
I'm black. I get it.
There's a line
You know,
between having respect
you know-
for someone and and going too far. And like it goes beyond that.
You know what, Aaron? I think it's really great that you have this podcast and that you get to share your experience as an African American. I'm just so happy to be a part of that.
I thought he was going somewhere else with it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, oh
going
shit.
right where he would go.
I'm so happy to support that,
Oh, it's so funny. I appreciate that, Jay. Thank you so much.
So nice of you.
Paid a man.
And of course, we could spin the same thing and say, "Oh my gosh, Sam, being a female and having a show about talking to creators around the world."
It's Sam, unbelievable.
What's it like to be a woman doing something?
Doing something.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
On that note, welcome to Around the Reel.
Welcome to Around the Reel.
Welcome to Around the Reel.
I lost the bottom of my pen.
Right there. What's it like to be a woman doing something?
Doing something.
Welcome to Around the Reel. Totally out of context.
Oh, I love it. It's so good.
And meanwhile, if you guys want to talk to me, it's like, oh, look, another white guy doing a podcast. Fuck, go figure.
Congratulations, Chuck.
Yeah, way to go, Chuck.
You're breaking new territory.
Yep.
Way to do what everybody else is doing, buddy.
Oh, man, too funny, dude. Well,
Jay Horton, we love talking to you.
Yeah, man. Thank you for jumping in here last minute like this and making it work. But there's a reason for it.
Yeah, what the hell, dude? Why did you want to be on the show so damn bad right now? Right now.
Well, how do you know he wanted to be on so bad and it wasn't us begging him to come on?
Like I bet
because we all talk to each other, fucker.
I might beg Jay Horton every fucking week. I'm like, nigga, you gotta get on the show, bro. Ooh, I said the N-word. Maybe I can write that script.
No.
This is where I have to put the podcast disclaimer out. That was Aaron Carlson saying that, not the white guy in the room.
And that was not the white girl either.
And it had nothing to do with Jay Horton.
Oh no.
Jay Horton is not responsible for that. Disclaimer.
This is us all the time, Jay. I'm so sorry.
I know, we're always like this.
He's used to it. He's been on the show like 18 times.
I know. Well, not 18. He has not. No one's been on the show 18 times except for you.
Anybody who sits here and goes through our live stream event for our 100th episode like he did for the whole thing, or almost the whole thing. I think he had a bow out right towards the end. But dude,
that one counted as like a dozen.
Exactly.
But
literally,
still,
I get it.
You know, it meant a lot to us that you were here for that. Thank you.
Oh no, I was happy to be.
That was a big deal. That was a big deal for us.
It always means a lot when you answer any question or jump on the show or return a message.
Well, and
Still
the reason
answer,
being
Jay.
is because when we started out this crap, we always looked to you and watched your stuff and listened to what you had to say, and you helped us a lot.
Yes, you
I'm
did.
sorry.
So we will always love you for that.
Can you enunciate? Did you say this crap or craft?
I said this craft.
Okay, that's what I thought so too.
I
But
said
I was like,
this
she
crap.
didn't say crap.
I said crap.
We started this crap.
I totally said crap.
Shit. You know when we started this shit.
You know what I'm saying, though.
Right.
I mean, when we started to want to put ourselves out there, you helped us so much.
Absolutely.
With all of it.
Yeah.
I always like to hear that. I do.
No, for real, please.
Yeah.
No more. Just
it's
okay. We're good.
You can hit me with it. No, I really do. And like whenever I post anything about my YouTube channel and I get a couple of those, comments talking about how we helped each other out, it does mean a lot, and it's not just like an ego thing. Like it really makes me feel good. Like that, like the woman I was talking about interviewing, Toy, she was talking about how, she had these 5 or 6 movies that, when she was just starting out, she made them and they were just on YouTube, just kind of collecting dust basically. And she started watching my channel and like learning about Film Hub and all that. And she put all these things up and, she made money, like some of them more than I do.
Cool.
Yeah. Very cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, you have a lot of great information that you put out there and help people with, and it means a lot. I mean, to people. Yeah. I mean, honestly, we can literally credit you for getting started just putting ourselves out there.
Right.
And you were the one that kind of guided us to that.
Yeah, you did.
So,
and there's no better thing you can say to somebody doing that than something like that. It's really 100% true. Yeah.
Yeah, and
well, if the point is really that you're trying to help people, that's why you're putting it out there.
Well, that's what's cool about Jay. He's been open and honest about everything that he's done in this industry, and he keeps doing it, and you keep adding to it, and that's what's fucking amazing.
And he keeps sharing.
And he always shares, and that's the beauty of it. And people you can smell it. you know.
Yeah.
You know right away whether or not someone is being legitimate or not. And you're the most legitimate person that we've met.
That we met ever.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
And that's what's really cool. So I'm super happy for you, buddy, on that.
Yeah.
And that success. And your YouTube channel's blowing up, dude. I think it's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just passed 12,000 subscribers, which still, it's relatively small in the grand scheme of things.
Well, you can't compete. You can't compete with these kids nowadays. You know what I mean?
Right. And I don't. But it's every now and then I feel a little weird if I start talking about like my channel getting bigger or whatnot, because it's still like I just posted about crossing 12,000 subscribers, and one of the commenters was like, and he was being genuinely nice, he wasn't being a jerk. He was like, oh, congratulations, when my channel first crossed 100,000, it you know what I mean?
And you're just like,
you're like, oh, you think?
Dude, and I'm so excited. I want to post every day. I'm like, we're at 1,317 subscribers. 1,318 subscribers. Like, I'm seriously. I don't give a shit. I think it's a big deal.
Especially for us. We're not kids. So, and those kids, they can get those subscribers really easy. But we're
old fogies.
As much. We can't.
Yeah, old fogies trying to make movies.
We're trying out our TikToks and everything.
You know what I mean?
We're like slugs. We take a while.
Yeah.
I did one of those dance videos on TikTok, threw out my back, and was down for 3 weeks. So I didn't bother posting it. We probably would have gotten 1 million hits, but who
knows? Oh man. Okay. So the reason why Jay Horton is here is not only is he a fellow filmmaker and colleague with everybody and friend, but he has a new movie out.
See that?
And it's a movie we've talked about quite a bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's been a long year getting here.
Yeah. And it made my weekend when I got an email from Jay going, "Hey dude, we'd love to hear your feedback on this, and here's a movie." And I was like, what the fuck? That was exciting. Dude, even my
special.
Yeah, my nipples got hard and stuff. It was
so excited.
It was really cool.
He was so excited. Sam got pleasure out of it.
Yeah, I made homemade pizza that night. And we sat down and we watched. Pizza was good, right?
He doesn't even like pizza.
No, I did, but that pizza was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Because he made it.
Yeah. Okay, I could put all the shit on there I wanted.
We were home alone that night. Where was he?
Yeah,
she wasn't even home.
Yeah, she wasn't
there.
there.
Our daughter wasn't there.
Us.
It was great.
She's partying like this.
So
high schoolers.
Yeah, it was Sam and I sitting down watching the movie, and I know Chuck watched it too. And buddy, congratulations.
Not with him.
It's fun as fuck. It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's super fun movie.
And thank you for putting Jared in there right off the bat.
Yes.
That was badass. As soon as I heard it, I was like, oh.
Yeah, my man was chilling at the table too. and he had the one name call out. Did any other characters have their names called out in the film?
No one else had a name.
I didn't think so.
Not that I remember, and he's the only character that had a first and last name.
Badass.
Awesome.
There you go, Sam.
That's badass. Mm-hmm. That is badass.
It was great.
Very special.
How are you feeling?
Yeah.
Jay?
Actually, pretty good. So I just got back from Los Angeles. We did the premiere there at a Lamel theater in North Hollywood, and it was, to be real honest, I've talked about this before, but my anxiety stuff. I don't really like premieres all that much.
Right.
Like I don't like to sit there in a group of people watching my movie, even if they're liking it. Like there's just something about that experience that's like,
I feel you on that kind of.
Yeah. I just do not like I hear every single, like if there's an awkward silence or like I see every single flaw. Like it's just it's hard for me to do.
Right.
But that said, this was a pretty positive experience. Like, we get out there and I don't know what to well, I knew we had sold a certain amount of tickets, but you don't know what it's like to sit in a sold out crowd for your movie until you're sitting in a sold out crowd.
Sitting in it,
so like that was really cool. And, and to hear people like gasp and scream and laugh and, it was neat. It was really cool.
Good.
Now it was really stressful leading up to it, getting everything set up.
Yeah, I bet.
The general admission versus VIP tickets was like a nightmare.
Oh,
so
no.
like they only had, it's a 200 seat theater. They gave us 45 VIP tickets and 155 general admission, and then out of those 45 we got like 10 that we could distribute, and we have a cast of 102. So it was there were so like we had cast members flying cross country to see it. Sorry, there's only general admission.
Right.
It ended up working out. I turned out I was a lot more worried about it than it really wasn't a deal, but it was stressful. We had the monster there and a standee getting it in there.
That's fun.
Yeah,
that is fun.
People took pictures with it.
That is very cool.
Yeah. It's amazing. And that's kind of like we had the same experience with Sam's movie when we were premiered it up here, because that theater sat.
Yeah, that was extremely stressful.
Yeah, there was like 200 people. Yeah, that first sellout we had was about 200 as well, I believe, for Sam's movie. And watching a documentary premiere is a lot weird because it's such a serious thing, so you're not getting that.
It is quiet. Like people
Super
people
quiet.
are laughing, and
Right.
at least you're
we
hoping
did the
they're
Q&A
not.
after, and I called as many people up there as I could. Like I was like, "Come with me, you come,
She
you
was
come,
scared.
you come."
What's your name? Get up here.
Yeah.
I was terrified.
Yeah, you were shitting your pants, but you did
I was
great.
shitting my pants.
But those premieres are kind of they're strange. Like our experience was like it was pretty quiet. We have a few laughs and we were paying attention to people a little bit. At least I was.
I was too.
But then at the end of that
I was trying not
motherfucker,
to.
when that movie ended and everybody stood up and started applauding,
That's when
it was so weird, Jay. I was like, for me, I was like, of course they would. That's how I felt. I was like, yeah, see, told you, Sam.
I was
told
like,
you.
Wow.
Yeah,
Totally.
I know. And she
Sam,
started bawling.
I don't know if you felt the same as I did, but leading up to it, so I've had a few movies premiere before, but I've never sold out a room before. Like even a year ago, if you would have said, "Hey, you're gonna have a sold out room for this movie," would you even have believed it?
No, absolutely not. I would.
Yeah,
no.
me neither.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it coming at all. I didn't. I was like, oh God, this is gonna be embarrassing. Like we're gonna have like
felt the
15 seats filled, and it's gonna be embarrassing.
Yeah.
You humble motherfuckers. You guys are so humble.
I even knew ahead of time that we had sold out, but I was like, half of them were going to show up or a quarter.
That's kind of, I felt that way too.
You did the numbers percentage-wise. Yeah. 3 out of 10 will show.
Exactly.
Well, because we knew how many seats we sold too, and I felt that way too. I was like, oh, I don't think everyone will come.
Well, after they bought the tickets, I didn't give a shit. I was like, well, at least they paid.
That's
right. We were
the
getting a piece of this, so I did.
But they all showed too.
They did.
But it's a crazy experience, isn't it?
And they stayed.
It's wild.
Yeah, it really is.
thing.
And it was in like conjunction with the movie streaming release, so it hit streaming the same day.
Right.
Like a lot of our reviews were coming out right at the same time, which have been pretty overwhelmingly positive.
That's good.
Which again, you never know how movies going to be received.
Right.
Definitely.
So like that's really good. Even our letterbox reviews have been pretty good so far.
Awesome.
Like
That's good to hear.
so far it seems like it has a lot of good positive momentum. We'll see how that translates into actual dollars and cents in about a month.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like it's gonna do well, but you never know.
Yeah, I have that feeling too. You've got a good monster movie that you made, that B-style, old school
creature feature.
I love it.
And
it's
that's
different.
it's fun. They don't make them like that anymore.
No.
And one of my questions for you was, what inspired you to actually make this? Because when I started watching it, and when you pitched the idea back in the day when you were getting this thing going, I immediately thought like those movies like Beast Within back in the day. That's like a movie that stuck with me when I was a kid. That scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. That was fucked up. And when I was paying attention to your movie, I'm like, oh, it's kind of there. What type of movies inspired you to make this?
Well, the big one that actually like kicked it off, and this was 15 years ago, was From Dusk Till Dawn. With the genre flip. There's something, and there was a whole slew of like horror movies with like criminals in them after that, and I just really like that setup. Like I like when you take people that live outside of society, and then they can't rely on that society to bail them out, whether it's the police or whatever. They're just they have to deal with it. And I also like when you have like quote unquote like badass characters having to deal with something that's way more badass.
I totally get
that.
it.
Yeah, that was the initial like inspiration. But as far as like stuff that it follows the template of more, I would say it's a little more like The Howling or American Werewolf in London. you know, like where, like in both of those movies, you know, like we don't see the creatures till, you know, pretty late
end
in the movie. You know, especially the Howling. I think it's like I think that one might be similar, like in the last half an hour. You know, so I liked that. And it was something that I was a little bit worried about going, you know, into releasing it, you know, because again, our monster, spoiler, doesn't show up until, you know, the last 45 minutes.
Right.
And, you know, and I was really worried about people being like, hey, you sold this as a monster movie, and the monster shows up, you know, a little past halfway. And
you build it up good.
But and so far, like the response has been really great, and even the like kind of middling reviews have been like, well, it was a little slow getting there, but once the monster gets there, it's incredible. But what I love about those reviews, though, especially when it comes to like when it hits Tubi and all that, you know, is where retention really matters. Like people that read that, they're gonna tough it out. They're gonna wait for that monster because I've heard there's a monster, so they're gonna watch it till that monster shows up.
Well, and not only that, your choice of actors was great. Like phenomenal choice for actors because they keep you going. They keep you hanging in there because you love the actors and you fall in love with them right away. So your actors was good. Your choice of actors was excellent.
I think so too.
Go ahead, and I don't want to, obviously we're not going to do any spoilers, the thing just came out, but I'll tell you this, there's certain characters in the storyline that you're rooting for them to go.
And
they pull that off really well.
Really well.
You motherfucker.
One in particular, Aaron and I, like...
I hated that character.
That character.
Yeah, I wanted that character to go right away.
I think I know.
But that's what we wanted to do in our movie too when we did The Shape. That we wanted to do the character where everyone hated her so much they couldn't wait for her to die. That's kind of, but that's a good thing. Like that's important. It's important in a story because if you hate a character as much as you could honestly love a character,
that's exactly
something that's just as good.
Yeah, I always believe in balancing the scale when you're writing a story. If you've got one you're rooting for so much to make it, you need one that you want not to make it at all.
Not to make it.
And every time I sit down to write something, that's how I think. I need to have somebody that is just ruthlessly hateable. Where you're just like, fuck them.
You're terrible.
You know, but then that's the cool thing that you can do when you're writing, because then you can take those characters and you can actually transition them into
something a little more or something different.
In a series, do it all the time, and that's what I like. If you like Negan in Walking Dead, he's the main guy that everybody hates, and all of a sudden you can flip him later if you keep him around long enough.
The governor's more hated.
Yeah, and then you can root for the motherfucker, or you get some feeling for him, and that's like the fun stuff that you can do when you tell these stories longer. But I always think you got to have that balance.
Yeah, you do.
Between those two.
But an actor that can pull that off and be hated. That is an exceptional actor. It really is.
And there's a difference between like being hated and being like annoying.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, not really a difference to me. I hate the annoying. If you're annoying, I hate you.
I hate you. I want you to die right away.
or being maybe annoying was the wrong word. Being like unpleasant to watch.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's good stuff.
And you know, and speaking of characters too, like one thing I think really like separates this from, you know, other movies at its budget level and lower is like we really put a lot of effort into humanizing people and to playing the pathos and the emotion of things, you know, almost to where, you know, it's, you know, some of it's a little melodramatic, but like I like that kind of stuff myself, you know, so like to me that helps, you know, propel that, you know, first 45 minutes.
Well, and I love the fact that you guys give just enough of the story to keep you going, what is going on? And you're like, you're trying to figure it out, like, what? Yeah, you're hanging in there going, what is going on? You're trying to figure it out. I love that. I love that. It's like a thriller thing.
Exactly.
And I love a thriller.
Exactly. So and that's that.
Now that in there, you're like, what?
And now
and then you're really paying attention. Once you don't understand what's going on, you're like trying to figure it out, then you're really into the movie and really paying attention. That's a good little trick.
Yeah,
I think so, and you know, and there will be some people that, you know, won't, you know, because you know we're in the you know, the times of watching our movies while we're scrolling and stuff like that. So there will be people who be like, well, it was too confusing.
Is not what it used to be.
And you know, there's a fair a couple of fair criticisms that have come out about it, maybe being a little bit too packed with characters, and I accept that. It was a financial function, and it was also a function of, I have this explosive last act and I need
people to kill
for it to kill. I had to,
I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
I loved it. I love the character development that you did, and I love the actors, the way they played the characters and everything. I was impressed by the character development.
Yeah, and the cool thing
because for a horror movie, you don't really get that.
Right.
That
Yeah.
Right.
Well, now knowing your inspiration from Dusk Till Dawn, it makes sense. You've got this thriller in the first half of the film, and then it flips on you, and that's what's really fun to watch. Yeah.
The funniest, not even really a criticism, just something a couple of people have said. They felt like the first hour was really artsy, and I was like, what? Like, I don't think it's artsy at all. But that's what a couple of people said, which is fine.
He had a few lens flares, on the lights.
I guess maybe that was artsy.
There was some art.
It looked good.
Yeah.
They might have said that because
teasing.
Did you do that intentionally? Because when you did the flashback scenes to the 80s, because actually the way you set the shots on some of them, it really did feel like the older style of movies. So that might be what they're referring to.
Our visual style was totally different in the flashbacks. So we were in the present day. Most everything was handheld or on a gimbal, so it was a lot of just constant motion or energy. Yeah. And then on the flashbacks, they were almost all static. There wasn't a lot of camera movement. It was mostly just static shots. Wide, close up, medium, and
that was
not
brilliant.
A lot of,
it took you right back to that day of the movie. It really did. It was great. Your flashbacks were actually.
Yeah, you
immaculate.
Paid wonderful tribute to that style of filmmaking back then, I thought. It felt
and
like
of course, as I said, and of course we changed, our color palette a little bit, so I gave it a little bit more of a washed out look.
No, it looked great. You really sold the flashbacks very well.
Yeah,
very well.
It reminded me too, Jay. This is funny story. Like every Friday when I go to my dad's house when I was a kid, we'd go to the video store, right? And for the weekend, we would load up on movies on Friday night, and that's what we would do all weekend. And I'd run right to the horror section, and you start looking at every box cover, because we didn't have anything back in the day to tell us what movies were cool or not. You just had to fucking guess, and you grab one.
Yeah, and you're making a $3-4 gamble. And I don't know about you, but for me, I had to walk. It was like maybe 2 miles to the video store, back and forth.
Okay.
So you're looking at a 2-hour round trip. $3 put down,
I never got them back in time, so I always had the late fee.
And late fees on the back end.
And then you probably didn't
rewind fees.
Yeah, the rewind fees too.
Rewind fees.
Fuck those rewind fees. Those are stupid. My dad would get so mad at me. Yeah, he'd yell at me all the way home.
It's a commitment to go to the video store. You're gonna watch it.
It was my job to rewind our tapes.
My only good relationship I ever had was with the people at this fucking video store.
I loved them. We'd hang out there all day waiting for a movie to come back. I remember standing there all fucking day waiting.
Someone drop it in the Dropbox.
Yeah.
And you're like, what is that movie?
What
did they just drop it
so
there?
fun.
Well, they did.
Your movie reminds me of that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really does.
And it is. It's about a 15-year-old script, but I think a lot of times as writers, as filmmakers, as artists, we tend to go back stylistically to the time when we came of age.
Yes, we do.
Like between say the age of maybe 12 and maybe 25.
For sure.
And it's
the
almost
nostalgia is
I haven't really grew too much past that.
Me neither.
So it's none of us have. I still collect garbage pail kids, honestly.
Well, that's funny too, because Aaron and I are only a couple of years apart, but for whatever reason, the '80s music grabs in more than anything, and for me, it's the beginning of the '90s music.
It's '90s.
I would say me and you, Chuck, were more on that. I like '80s music, but the '90s because
Aaron,
I was a late bloomer.
Yeah. He was a late bloomer. Chuck was too.
My musical tastes are more from when I was 18 as opposed to when I was 10 or 12.
Yeah, and see, I was influenced by TV a lot back then, and that's the problem. When I was a young kid, Miami Vice hit, and I started watching that, and immediately I was in awe the music and the visuals. That's what got me. And I think back now to this day, and it's like what we're making with our horrorverse stuff. You know, that nostalgia is all that I'm doing. That's everything I'm writing. That time frame that you were talking about, Jay, is absolutely accurate. I'm drawn to that, and I want to savor that, and I want to reshare that, and I appreciate when I see other filmmakers out there doing it, and even big budget stuff. That's why I love Stranger Things so much. That's like the only show that really captures that Spielberg kind of fucking older. You know, the Stephen King movies back in the day, where you're just like, oh God, they got it. They fucking got it.
You like
Cobra Kai. That's why I love that stuff, you know. But that's my shit.
That's your time.
That's
my shit.
I do too.
Y'all, he's about to be 50.
My birthday's next week, Jay. Sorry, I'm gonna be 50.
Next week. It's
man, you're beating me by about a year.
I'm beating you by a year, motherfucker. Damn it.
I'll be 40. I'll be 49. I'll be 49 in April.
Okay.
Let's just say it out loud. You older, but you look better. There you go.
Thanks.
I
do.
Your birthday present doesn't come early. You're older, but you look better.
Black don't crack.
You're talking to him, right?
Pay to late.
Sure, I'm talking to him.
Pay to late. Black don't crack.
But you know, talking about like the nostalgia stuff, so like almost all of my movies have kind of a 90s flavor, but you know, Craving's really the first time I like actualized it and said this is set in. It was actually originally supposed to be 92. It's kind of stupid the reason I made it 98. Not stupid, but so there was a late addition to the script. Like the character of Frank, he was like the tattooed guy that was sitting outside that was singing the song. Not like that character was in it, but like the whole like song singing thing was a late edition, and I was looking for a stock piece of music to go in there, and of course I'm looking for 80s and like 90s stuff, and I stumbled across this like K-pop song that had some auto-tune in it, and I just liked the song so much, so like I get on the internet, I'm like, when did auto-tune become a thing? And like Cher was like the first one to really like break through with it on Do You Believe in Love, which was released in 98. So I was like, okay, so for this one little tiny moment, I'm going to take the setting of my movie and move it 6 years so that it could possibly be.
That's beautiful.
Even though Kate, what's that?
I so love that.
Yeah, it's great.
That's awesome.
Fantastic.
And I just and like I said, it's such a like a silly little joke and a little, but it was my favorite joke in the movie, and I was like, I want to keep the song. And, all right, I'll change the year.
Cool.
That whole scene is dude, I love that scene.
Dude,
that's
Aaron
what we're talking.
has a love affair with Cher.
Oh yeah,
anyway.
I love Cher anyway.
He loves Cher.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, Cher saved my ass back.
Yeah, and it's still a touch anachronistic because I don't think K-pop was a thing, but whatever. I'll live. I'll take the criticisms.
It's awesome hearing that.
The other thing that we kind of messed up on the period specific stuff was so the movie's set in a bar, you know, in '98, you know, in a rural area, and there's no smoking. You know, I mean, there were no ashtrays. Like I remember on like towards the end of the first day of production, just one of the actors offhandedly was like there's no like cigarettes or ashtrays, and it hadn't occurred to anyone.
Smart person.
Not anyone.
Actually, I never picked up on that.
I didn't either.
Yeah,
but they're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's something I wouldn't really pick up on myself. But what I did do, that we had already shot the bar, so I couldn't really do anything inside the regular bar, but we hadn't done any of the bathroom stuff yet. Okay. So I did all these like homemade like don't smoke here, no smoking signs.
Oh, good.
Thinking like maybe the bartender was an very adamant non-smoker. So that's my explanation.
There you go.
And that's why the bar was so empty. There's only a few consumers there.
But you can't smoke in here.
Because they don't allow smoking.
Yeah,
it was
I
really,
did not
really
notice
big
that.
bar.
It's
something like I said. I don't really care that much about it, but you know, I had a couple of producers that were like, "Well, you know," and just to so there wouldn't be any tension. I was like, "Okay, put up the no smoking signs."
It makes sense. It makes sense.
That's
good. I mean, if you notice that, then you're really
you're really lost. I mean, that's that is my feelings on continuity in general. Unless it's something like majorly glaring, I really don't care much about continuity. When we get into the monster sequence, for example, there are shots, in there that are taken so far out of context. It's like, because it's really hard to move that monster around the set. He's wearing the head thing you can't see. He's wearing about 40 pounds of prosthetics, and you have to do, every time he moves, like walks or anything, you have to like take the head off. He has to do the walk like 4 or 5 times, counting his steps and all that, and then you roll the cameras, put the head on him, and then do the same thing.
There you go, do the same thing. Muscle memory, motherfucker.
It's so crazy.
Okay. But it limits you, like, in how much you can move him, how many shots you're gonna get of him.
Yeah.
So it was constantly a matter of, like, in editing where, fuck, I need a shot of him like looking this way, but he's not looking that way in the moment. So like, I have to go back to the shot way back when, and maybe the lighting is like mismatched because he's standing somewhere else. But in the chaos of it, you don't see it.
You won't see it. Yeah. And
I have a question. So how much did Robert have to do with the actual movement of the monster? I know he made all that.
Yeah, no, quite a bit. So like he worked a lot with Xavier, who was also, and he played the
got it.
He played the person.
Yeah. So the person that was playing the monster also, the person playing the actor also played the monster.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Bravo was working very closely with that person, putting the, with the movements and how the monster moved. And I told Bravo from the get, both with the design of the monster and how it moved and acted, that it was kind of in his purview. Because when you're dealing with a budget like this low, and you're doing like complicated special effects, like you gotta kind of let go of a preconceived notion or vision a little bit, because at the end of the day, if I said no, he has to move like this, well, maybe that would take a different kind of build. Like Bravo did everything, from the build to the movement, and it's all works a certain way. And what happens on a lot of low budget movies is then the director gets in there and is like, no, in my vision he has to do this, and the build of the monster can't allow for that. So I was like, let's just cut out the middleman here, and as far as what the monster, where he moves, what he does, like, you do it.
Well, that's kind of what I figured. You're smart like that. I kind of knew that would be your answer, but I was curious.
I want the monster to spin around and grab the thing behind him, and
I
everybody's like,
I was curious about
the monster does this.
Yeah, even when it came to the kills, there were a few specific things, like from the script, I was like, well, this has to be this.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was like, well, what can you do and make it look really cool? Like, this person has to die. Like, a lot of my direction with Bravo was like, okay, this person needs to die. They need to die really cool. Go make that happen.
Go make
it. And then we would, and he'd like, well, where do you want to shoot it? I don't care. You tell them. Like, where's it going to look the best for your effect? That was the biggest fight that me and Bravo had, because he's so worried about stepping on people's toes, and he didn't want to tell the DP where to put the camera. I was like, no, tell them where to put the camera. They will adjust to you. I don't care where the best lighting for the shot is. We want the shot to look cool. We want the effect to look cool.
You guys seem to work really well together. With the whole way the movie worked out, you guys seem to work well.
Yeah, we do. And it's just been, we've been working together a long time, and it's a matter of, like, mutual respect and giving. Well,
you even lived together, right? For a minute while you did the movie?
Yeah, while we were shooting. Yeah. So like, I typically live in Georgia, and I flew to LA, and I stayed in a room in his house for, it turned out being almost 6 months.
Yeah, man.
If you go back and listen to episode 120 something,
he was actually sad to see you go.
On the show.
Yeah.
He was like, no.
Well, it comes down to trusting the people you're working with and building that relationship with them, and that's the key thing. And that's what I'm hearing, and that's what we kind of go off that same philosophy. That's why we hand stuff off to people. Yeah.
When you hire an artist on a low budget production, 9 times out of 10 they're not being paid exactly what they're worth. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so like you have to let within boundaries, you have to let them express themselves how they want to express themselves.
Yep. For example.
Oh, totally. And but sometimes you have a vision, and the vision might clash. Like, for example, on this, we had an excellent composer, and he did a great job. We had a couple of sequences.
Fantastic.
We had a couple of sequences where we didn't see eye to eye, and we couldn't really reconcile between what I had before in the stock music and what he was doing, and where I ended up replacing some of it, you know, but that was, you know, a mutual, you know, decision and agreement, and okay, yeah, go ahead, you know.
Okay, so you worked out. That's how you worked out those disagreements or whatever you want to call them. I don't know, not necessarily.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it wasn't really so much. Yeah, it wasn't so
or...
much a different agreement. It was a point where we just we couldn't get a certain section to match the energy of the stock, so I ended up using bits of the stock.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
I gotcha.
Okay.
I've done that.
And your composer was fine with that.
Yeah, well, you know, as fine as he can be.
Yeah right. Exactly. Well, You're the boss, applesauce.
I mean, I'll put it this way: we're still friendly, and we'll still work on the next project together.
Good.
Yeah, that's
good.
Yeah.
Great composer. Great composer.
Yeah, no, he's
noticed
awesome.
That right away.
He's awesome, and he elevated the movie like really far.
For
you know,
sure.
like it, and really went above and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
People don't understand how important composers are, but they're like it. They're like, they really matter. They really bring your movie to life. And I always credit my composer for GPO because he actually brought my movie to life. Like it wouldn't be a movie without him. Like he just really brought it.
Yeah, the magic that they can bring to elevate that. Your vision is ridiculous.
For sure.
I mean, I'll tell you what.
You had a magical composer on that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, totally. When I finished the first cut of the movie, and I had laid stock under the whole thing, and I was honestly like a little like, God, man, this movie kind of sucks. like honestly, that's kind of how I felt. I was like,
sounds like you, Jay.
I was like, what the hell did we just do? And then, no. Right after his first pass of it, and it was just a first pass, not, fine-tuned or nothing. I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
I know that feeling.
That's great.
That's fucking funny, though. You get all done, you're like, I would have changed that music immediately. I'd be like,
I have the best time when I'm editing one of our films, finding those songs, that stock stuff.
Oh, the stock stuff?
Yeah, and I find some shit, and I'm like, okay, I know I'm not supposed to get attached to this, but I really like this.
He gets attached.
So I'm like, okay, a composer, my friend, can we try to mimic this?
For Aaron to find a composer that actually can.
Right, and that's a really difficult thing.
It's hard. It's hard.
Actually, I do want to be fair to the composer too, because I think what actually happened, to be 100% honest and put a little bit more on me, like there was two little sections that I just said we couldn't reconcile them, but the truth is, if I'm being honest, I really just fell in love with those things, and there was just no way anybody was going to exactly match it. And at the end of the day,
Aaron does that too.
Yeah,
happens.
I get it, and I think that's just because of our own. I don't know what it is,
honestly,
but it's something
in those moments,
in there.
It doesn't matter how good the composer is, because that music matches your shit, or it
exactly, there was nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, there was nothing he could have done.
No.
In
that
except
sense,
play the same track.
100%.
Excuse me. In that sense, it doesn't matter how good they are.
Right.
Yeah. Which honestly, that whole thing goes counter to how I usually work, but it's just in this particular instance, this particular sequence was just so important to me that I could not, I just couldn't let it go.
No compromise.
Let me tell you a story, Jay, real quick. When we did our first one, The Outrider, there was towards the end, and we had a Hollywood composer helping us do this.
We did.
Like he did like trailers for Batman versus Superman, all that stuff back in the day. We were in awe of his talent. And he just fell in love with us for some reason. I don't know. Well, it's probably because, me. But anyway, we could not get this ending right the way I wanted it, because he had a specific track that he had that I loved, and I had it in my head, and I'm like, dude, that song has to be this moment when Marcus Ford turns to the Outrider.
Tell the backstory and say that you already had that in your head and in your movie before you even met the dude.
Before I even met the dude, right? And then that's what happened. So when I'm talking to him about this ending, he sent us back some stuff that was just a tad off from what it was, and I'm like, dude, just put that fucking song.
It's your song
right there. And he would not do it. So you know what I did when we cut it? I put
the song in there.
Yes, I did. I did.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to do it because he's like, I've sold that song to so many movies.
Yeah, I was like,
and that's why we
don't
care.
Not this movie.
We didn't give a shit, but wanted to make it a little
and I liked
different.
what he did, but I was stuck on it. I would not bend.
stuck.
Like, no, fuck you, no. This is what it's gonna be.
And who knows, if like 5 years from now I might listen to those two things again and be like, you know what, he was right.
He probably will.
And he probably was. I don't know.
Yeah.
It worked fine.
Well, when it
Yes,
comes
it
to
did.
music,
It did.
it is hard to change your, like when, the way you see things is different from the way other people do. So when you give it to a composer, if you don't give them the music you already had in it, then
Right.
whatever they come up with, sometimes it's better, but you don't hear it right away. Like you don't hear it because you're so stuck in your like.
You're all stuck. Yeah, you get stuck, and that's the shitty part of using temp, I think.
I know, honestly.
But I can't edit without it.
Yeah.
I gotta have it. I gotta have it.
So I think you need to go back to old school, Aaron, which was using, Hans Zimmer. Use stuff that we can't fucking use for your temp.
That's what I've been doing in the Horrorverse. I've been using all John Carpenter shit.
Okay.
That's all I've been using. So I know that won't be there.
Yeah, we
I
can't use
actually
it.
got a slight cautionary tale about that. So on Death Day, and I don't care, they can come after me now. It's not long enough. So I cut the.
Jay Horton
I cut
said,
the
"Bring it,
entire-
bitches."
I cut the entire temp score to Carpenter's scores. I
No shit.
downloaded a bunch off of YouTube, and
Yep,
I was
Okay.
entire movie.
Yep.
So then somewhere along the way, because I do my sound design within Premiere as well. So somewhere along the way, I had one of those tracks like
Still
in
in
background
there.
somewhere, and I never took it out. I forgot about it, forgot that it wasn't temp.
Okay.
And we did have a composer that then composed everything, but like that track somehow never got removed. So like to this day, like somewhere in there, there's a
That's
little
like
piece.
a 5-second like John Carpenter sting.
Boom, boom.
Yeah. Anyway, come at me. It's fine.
Honestly,
I love it. I love it.
I mean,
Yeah.
You
That,
can
that
easily
movie,
use it.
I mean, that movie's made about a total of $5,000. So
right, if you really care, that really means that much to you.
Oh man.
It's funny.
Fun stuff, man. It's fun. There's little things that we talked about in here, like the smoking in the bar.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the howling. And it keeps echoing in my head right now during this conversation because I was thinking about what we shot our last webisode, and it's almost done. But we've recreated a certain scene from Escape from New York, and it was important to me to have my character smoke in that scene because that's what Kurt Russell fucking does in that scene. But we're in the location, and we can't smoke in this location. So I'm like, what the fuck are we going to do? So I made a crack about it with this vape. This vape pen. That was the only thing. So when my character speaks to another character in this film, asking for a smoke, this is what he gets. And I was thinking, okay, well, Snake Plissken would look at this kind of thing and like go, what the fuck? That's kind of what we did.
That's funny.
But we
That's
still,
cool.
we played homage to it. But at the end, when we're outside, he finally gets a cigarette. You know what I mean? That's what's cool.
There you go. It's like the like Bruce Willis trying to get the espresso in Hudson Hawk. I mean,
yes,
yes.
I love you, Jay. See, he gets
Yeah,
it.
he
gets it.
Fucking gets it, man. And then the howling. Like, when's the last time you watched The Howling? And what immediately goes to your mind? That one transformation.
The transformation, yeah.
Jesus
I think
Christ.
I watched it at one point last year before we shot, just because it was in my mind as a homage. Honestly, I was doing a bunch of like Facebook promotion for the Crowd Thunder, so I was like, movies that inspired Craving.
I remember that.
The Howling was one of them. So I was like, I probably, it's been probably 30 years since I watched The Howling. I should probably watch it before I go around and tell people it's a big influence,
Yeah.
So then, and the one thing that really shocked me actually about watching it again, because it had been years. Like I remember, I was a kid probably last time I watched it, and I remember thinking, oh, like werewolves and blah blah blah. But really, man, that like much like The Exorcist itself, that they're more dramas than horror movies that have a horror element, and then it like explodes at the end.
Yep.
But like that Exorcist, I mean, that's like, mother and daughter, relationship drama for, almost all with
The whole
little
film.
bits of horror all the way till the end. The Howling similar.
Little bits of horror. That shit is terrifying.
It's terrifying, right?
Yeah.
It sticks
Well,
with you,
what
but
I
there
mean.
is, though.
Well,
That's because you're a mother and a daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you get the priest. Then the priest and his mother story. I mean, there is this character drama in those movies, and they did make them that way. And that's, I think that's Go ahead.
I think what separates those from like, say Craving is like they had a consistent like, like horror atmosphere throughout, where mine really does like, goes from, crime thriller pretty much exclusively into, gonzo horror.
Right.
I'm doing it's a totally different tone.
Yeah.
But the instinct is the same.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
feel
much
that.
fun.
Yeah.
It's so much
definitely.
fun making this shit, you guys. It's so fun.
It's fun.
Creating these worlds and doing these.
Yeah.
stories.
Especially when you
swear
find
to
the right
God, it's so
people
much
to
fun.
pair up with and to partner up with. That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the trick.
Here we are. We're closing in on 50, and I'm still playing.
Make believe.
I'm playing make believe, and it's.
You're closing in on 50.
We're still winging it,
Yeah, and it's so funny. I thought that when we were doing our last shoot out there. I'm like, got a bunch of grown ass men out here, dressed up. Everybody in this fucking park is looking at us, and I'm like, yeah, we're making a movie.
I think
it's kind of fun. It's
I'm
fun.
like, oh, okay, Aaron's going to play.
Yeah, and
Go
it's
play.
so weird. It's so weird. I don't know why we love it so much.
I don't know why.
I can't put my finger on it. It's fucking ridiculous. And it's
'Cause if
hilarious.
you
And
fall in
everybody
love with
takes
movies
it
back
and they
in
take
your
it so
time.
seriously.
Yeah,
All of us
yeah.
do. We take it so fucking seriously. We get on set, everybody's like fucking serious.
I don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I
collect
do.
garbage pail kids for fuck's sakes. I don't take anything seriously.
I guess I guess you're right. I do and I don't because I know it's fun and it's silly.
There's aspects of it
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
take seriously,
Yeah.
but
Well, you
not
have to.
like you're not taking like I don't take myself so seriously,
Yeah.
but like
Exactly.
I take the work seriously to
Yeah.
a point.
Yeah.
To
Like,
a point.
Like I made a Facebook post. I was laying on the couch before I went. And I was still in my sweats, and I was like, "Is it bad to wear sweats to your premiere?" And I took a shot of me in sweats, and I don't know who it was, but somebody like posted like a paragraph like, you really should show some respect for your work. And they were trying to be nice, but
that's one of those ones that you read.
Yeah.
Like,
and my gut instinct, I didn't do it, and I'm glad I didn't now. But I almost responded like, I was like, dude, we're making a $90,000 monster movie. We're not curing cancer.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, but
as far as I know, the Oscars. This is not the Oscars.
and people have a tendency to be critical of things that are out in the public. So when you put yourself out there, you have to expect like people are going to be critical of it. So.
Absolutely.
And that's hard for me.
Yeah.
And honestly, why I didn't was because his comment actually, I'm actually grateful for the comment because it did get me thinking. And I was like, yes, I don't, but there are actors in my movie that they're absolutely like it might be their first movie or might be the first time they've been to a premiere, and they're going out and they're dressing up and like the director shows up in sweats, like no big deal.
That is a good point.
I can see how that could be read as disrespectful. So I'm not going to go get a tux, but
you're gonna throw some slacks on at least or something.
I put on some pants. I wore pants to my premiere.
Pants
that was my gift.
We gonna pull up in a stretch, bro? You know what I mean?
As long as you weren't wearing sweats, you're good. Like,
The sweats and a t-shirt. Yeah, I almost did. And it would have been cold. It was cold there in LA that week.
Yeah.
We have a game. We have a game to play.
We do.
We have to implement our games back into the show more,
we
Jay.
haven't been.
That's one thing I know that our crowd of people are like, you guys don't play games enough anymore. We need to play games.
No one says that.
Yeah, I've got a few. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
people miss the games.
Yeah, they miss
By
the
the way,
games.
but before you get into it, I just want to point out, and I hadn't noticed it before. I really like the Around the Real logo behind Aaron with the crooked R, like the A&R. I like that.
Okay, I made that myself.
Yeah.
Did you
Sam
really?
made
That's
that.
great.
I made
love
that.
it, and I'm really picky about fonts, and I really like that.
She did
Oh,
that.
thank you.
That's
I actually did.
yeah,
make
she made that out of wood and everything.
It looks
And
great.
I painted
And the
it
R
all.
the R fell crooked when we transferred everything back over to the studio, and I could never get it to fucking stay where it was supposed
It looks
to stay.
cool
so I
that
left
way,
it.
though. I've seen
Really?
it.
I thought it was on
dope.
purpose.
No.
When she originally made it was straight.
No,
and
I was like
I
before
like
I
it.
hung it up, I was
I mean,
just like,
it would look good straight too, but I like the crooked.
yeah.
Well, you
Like
know, I
it draws
agree.
my eye to it.
That's awesome.
Am I crooked letter?
I've been sitting here
Thank
looking
you.
at that almost
Thank
the
you,
entire
Jay.
interview.
You've been looking at the crooked. What about me, bro?
I mean, you're
Well, I mean, he was looking at your screen.
he
so.
ain't looking at anything
Besides
crooked
that.
on you.
Yeah. As soon as I heard the age, I was like, I don't deal with old dudes. I'm just joking.
This is old black guys.
awesome.
Dude, I'm going trending soon.
As soon as I heard the age.
Man, we're gonna get canceled on this one.
Oh, no, you be all
I
right.
know,
You be all right.
Kim.
If anybody blame us,
You're
we'll find.
canceled.
Cancel culture.
Sam, what game you got? You got a game.
I do.
Okay,
I do.
let's
And
play
this
it.
is one we have not played yet.
Oh shit!
Shit, we got a brand
So
new
we have a
game.
new
with
game.
Jay
Oh.
Horton.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Jay,
We got a veteran guest
All right.
playing a new game.
Be nice
And
to
you
Jay.
know what? I don't know what to call this one, so it's a foul language trivia game.
The foul language trivia game.
So I guess
Okay. All right.
That's good.
All right. I like it.
So we're all
Boo
aware.
Boo Kitty Fucks fucking trivia game.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
All right. What do
Are
we
you
got?
ready?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. So
Is this a buzz in or everybody give their...
so I'm gonna give you a question. I'm gonna give you an A, B, C, D.
Okay.
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 And then Jay always goes first because the guest is always first.
You can't
and
just
then
pick double D's. It doesn't work that way, Jay. You
No.
gotta make sure you think of an answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Double D's.
Okay. So are we ready?
I guess
No,
so.
but let's try it
We'll
anyway.
see. The foul
You're not
language
ready?
trivia game.
Foul
whatever.
language trivia game.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
What was the first known context for which the word shit was used? Are you ready for the A, B, C, D?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give us a multiple choice.
A is not giving a shit. B is up shit creek. C, taking a shit. Or D, shit on a shingle. SOS.
I'm gonna say B.
You're gonna say B. Okay. B is up shit creek.
Oh. Okay.
What are you gonna say, Aaron?
I'm gonna go shit on the shingle. I'm going
Shit
D
on
on
the-
this
okay.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that
So-
does look like shit.
Shit on the shingle is really yummy.
I'm gonna
It is good. It just looks like shit.
What are you gonna say, Chuck?
I'm gonna go with D too because that's the oldest term. Shit on a shingle that I could think of because shit on a shingle is because all the birds used to shit on the fucking rooftops. So shit
Okay.
on a shingle.
All right. What do we got?
D.
So the first known use of shit was not giving a shit.
Are you serious?
I am
You know what? I
serious.
don't. You know what? That's how I feel about this game. I don't give a shit.
Not giving a
You
shit.
were all wrong. Yeah.
How did they fucking
Yeah.
come up with that?
You
It
know
seems
what?
like that would be more
That's my
modern.
question every day.
Yeah, exactly. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I know it
I don't
does
give a
seem more.
shit.
It does seem more modern. I was actually
Wow.
surprised by that too.
So how'd shit on the shingle come to play?
Shit on the shingle. I threw that in there because I love shit on
Oh,
the
you
shingle.
motherfucker. All right, fair enough. All right. What's the next one? That was good.
All right.
Damn it.
So, which language has no real curse words in it? Okay. Italian, Japanese, Arabic, or Portuguese?
I'm gonna say Arabic.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Arabic too. 'Cause,
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They didn't cuss at all in Stargate.
We're running Arabic across the board. We all think that all that fucking Jesus writing shit didn't swear.
There's no way they would-
they swore.
No, they
I
didn't.
love this so much.
Portuguese.
The actual answer, I love this, is Japanese.
No way!
Japanese.
No way!
That makes
No!
sense. That makes
You know
sense.
what? It
I
does
almost
make
said
sense. Thank you.
Japanese.
Yeah.
No way, because they go. That
But
means
they
fuck
don't
you.
mess around. They are clean.
Oh my!
They say things
God.
aggressively, but they're not swearing.
They might say
You
it
are no good.
aggressively, but that's not a cuss word.
Are you
They
serious
have
right
no
now,
cuss
bro?
words in their language. Well,
They have zero cuss words.
all those
in the
19
original language.
in the
of
original
Japanese,
text, okay.
Yeah, they have no cuss words.
Mother.
They're the only language that has no cuss words.
So all those 70s movies lied to us.
I'm gonna start just talking Japanese all the time, and everybody will think I'm nice.
Well, no, if you start talking Japanese the way you do it, everybody gonna think you racist.
This is a trivia question for Aaron, and if he doesn't get this right,
Uh-oh.
he is so fucked. So,
Okay.
I think that was like my third F-bomb. Sorry, Drew.
Start
So-
speaking Japanese, you'll be fine.
But honestly, though, and they have a cool language, so I'd love to. But it's hard.
It is hard.
One of the
Okay.
hardest on the planet to learn.
So, how many F-bombs are there in the movie Scarface?
A lot.
But I'm going to give you an ABC. I'm gonna
Okay,
give you
I
an
got it.
ABC.
I got a round number.
Okay. 207, 389, 1111. Or no, 111. Sorry. 111. Or 193. Do you
A.
need me to repeat?
No,
'Cause
A.
I fucked
207.
up.
I'm gonna say 207.
207.
207. What are you
I,
going to say? Chuck?
I vaguely remember hearing this
It's
before.
200.
Oh,
Yes,
you guys
me too.
already know-
Yeah.
You guys know this.
I think it's
answer.
207.
Yeah, that's cheating.
Well, you said vaguely 200, but one of her numbers was 193. The other one was 207.
Totally. I might be wrong.
She gave me 7 either way, but yeah, I'm going to 8.
It's over 200. It's over 200.
Okay, well, you guys are all right.
Yes! Don't tell me I don't know my Scarface.
You guys already
don't tell me I
knew
don't know how to say
that
fuck.
Yeah, I remember an article where it had that and like Pulp Fiction and something else, and they were listing them.
Me too.
All right.
Who says fuck better, Dana White, Samuel Jackson, or Al Pacino?
I have one more, and I don't think any of you are going to get this one.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. What we got?
One more.
Okay.
What do you call the collection of symbols used to represent obscene language?
Collect. Oh, okay. I like. Okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
All the symbols that you use to say the F word, but you use symbols. Okay. So what do you call that? Do you call it a goner, a galdite, a gremlin, or a gallix?
I'm gonna say Galdite.
I like Galdix because it sounds cool.
Yeah, I'm going with B.
Okay. Gallix is the answer.
Oh my God! Did I just win this game?
I've never heard that before.
I haven't either.
I had never heard that either. I didn't know there was a name for that.
I don't either. But I knew I'd be right. So yeah, I won. I like that. I like that. I like that.
I don't like that. I want another question.
You can't. No, that's the game.
Yeah, because you
winner.
Can't
win. Ding 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 ding. What do we have for him, Johnny?
Wait,
I won. No, I've got 2. I got 2 right.
Yeah, he got 2.
Jay got 2 right too.
Were you even playing?
No, apparently no. I didn't get any.
You never keep score.
You didn't get
No, I'm sorry. I got 1. We all got the
Scarface one. Scarface.
Yeah. Jay got 1. Chuck got none.
Scoreboard.
Wait, no, you got 1 too. So you tied with Jay.
Wait a minute.
Scoreboard.
Didn't you?
Okay.
Jay got
Fair
2.
enough.
Jay got 2 and Aaron
I'm not gonna just because he's a guest. I'm not gonna let him win.
Apparently we really should have kept score because I know I only got 1, but I thought you each got 2.
The games are not for keeping score, guys. We don't have any prizes. So.
Yeah, it's just for fun.
Yeah, it's just all for fun. Yeah, making movies is for fun. We
I
don't
wanna
want to make any money. Wait.
We're all winners. We're all winners here.
Right. We get our
That was
participation
just kind of
trophy.
some fun trivia.
I love it, Sam. Thank you for the game.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got it.
I love it.
Next time I want a sticker to give someone for winning.
Well, let's talk about that before we close the show out. Then about the
sticker.
No, this is interesting to me.
There gotta be a prize.
I hear this all the time, and it's kind of hard to try to kind of piece together why we do what we do, right?
I thought it was because we're all crazy.
Well, we love storytelling.
Yes.
We love the way we're telling stories. We're doing it for the right reasons, but we are also hoping to make money off of what we're creating, right?
I don't really give a shit.
Well, I know you don't, but I do.
Okay.
I don't want to work a day job anymore. I want to do this for a living. So the money is a part of it, correct?
Yep, of course.
However, if you say that, it sounds really kind of
Agreed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because I'm not doing it just for that reason, but that's what I'm hoping for. So I guess my question is, how do you sell that to people here outside of what we do that don't understand it? You know what I'm saying? Because we count on them to not only watch our films and support what we're doing, but also hopefully help us make some of these things because they like what we're doing. But if you come across like greedy or it's all about the money, then you're not gonna get anywhere.
I have something important to add to this.
Please do.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a scenario, just a flat out thing. You sit on this, you think about this. Everybody out there, think on this, because think about it good. Okay? I don't have like cash to just give out to homeless people, but there's always, they're always in the corner. They're always, they got their signs, they got a, paragraph of shit, they're going through, and like, you feel bad, and, but I don't give money to them all. But there was one guy who had a cardboard sign with a smiley face on it, and I literally turned the fuck around to give him money. I don't know why, but he seemed so genuine, and all he did was put a smiley face on his cardboard sign. So, just sit on that. Just sit on it and think about it, okay? And I don't know why this like translates to that, but I have a point to a method to my madness.
No,
but
I get it.
Just think on that.
I get it.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. And we talked a little bit about this when we were talking about the crowdfunding thing for me, but I think the reason so many, and I am literally, no matter how I dress it up, I'm literally asking for money, you know?
Yeah.
But, I think the people that, or some of this, one tact to do it successfully is to be genuine. And yes, I am asking you for money. Where filmmaking is an art form that requires money. It requires some money, and so many different moving parts. And, unless you're independently wealthy, it is really a hard thing it's an expensive hobby if you're not making something off of it,
Right.
and whether that's in fundraising or in, back end or whatever it is.
Doesn't matter. It's expensive.
Yeah, it is. And I think just in life, I think just like with anything in life, if you are, genuine and you do try to offer something in return, whether that, even if that's just, 90 minutes of entertainment, but whatever,
Correct.
or a smiley face. Yeah.
Honestly,
like that person, like you're talking, I don't know what that, how long ago did that take place?
that was probably a year ago or so.
Yeah, see, it's a year ago, and you're
about a
still
year ago.
talking
Yeah.
about it, and
Yeah,
it makes and
literally.
you smile when
Yeah,
you said it.
makes
You know
all
what I
the
mean?
sense in the world,
And-
because
and
honestly,
I'm-
this person was like, not like, feel bad for me because I got this going on or that going on.
Yeah.
They were being genuine, saying, just want money, but with just a smiley face. And there was nothing, like they weren't trying to overdo it, say all these words.
But it was
some-
impactful for you.
It did
and
impact
that's, I
me
think,
because
is what
I was like, you know what, it wasn't like, some people do those signs that are homeless and they're like, I just want a beer.
Yeah.
And people
Or
give
whatever.
money to them because they're like, oh, at least you're honest, right?
Yeah.
Right.
This guy actually gave me something.
Yes,
with that
yes.
smiley face.
I think that's
you
that's
know
it.
what I mean?
That's
You
the
didn't go
key.
too far
Yeah.
with telling me what you want. I already know what you want.
Yeah.
Okay, we know what you want. You have a cardboard sign. We know what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Yeah,
smiley face just meant the world to me. And I was like, that is so creative.
Yeah.
I can't
He-
give him money. I can't
on
not do it.
an emotional
That's
level,
a
he
great
made
point,
it
Sam.
transactional.
Yes.
It
So
wasn't
much.
just
So
you
much.
got
Like,
you
on
got
another
something
level.
for your
Got
money.
something out of
On
it.
another
Yeah.
level. On another
Yeah.
level.
And
yeah.
I think
100%.
that's the trick.
Yeah, it is.
That's-
Creativity.
We are not launching a crowdfanding campaign with just a
No,
smiley face.
but-
That's all I'm saying. We got to have some detail in it.
I know.
That's
but
gonna be
isn't
my
it
next
weird?
one.
Yeah.
I know. It in a weird way,
Claimed it.
It might fucking work.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, look.
You
Yeah.
never
Less
know.
is more. And
Yeah.
less is
Yeah.
more because people already know what you want. So
Totally.
think
And
about it. If you're doing a crowdfunding, people know what you want.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
less is more. So be creative with the less that you give people.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
it might, spark something in someone. Give them joy and they will give.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
No,
Because
that's
that
beautiful.
smiley face made me want to give him every dollar I had.
Well,
And I
that-
did.
Totally.
Yeah.
I
The
really
impact.
did.
Go
Like
ahead,
one
Jay.
thing that I've been and I try to do more and more now, and really the crowdfunder taught it to me, like going through the crowdfunder, but like when you really genuinely interact with people that are like watching your stuff and talking about it, like even on social media, so like
Yeah.
you'll make a post and you'll get whatever, 50 comments on it and say, oh, I like the movie, I like this, I watched it on Amazon. And I see other filmmakers, like there's one out there on my friends list right now that did a crowdfunder maybe a year ago, and he makes these posts and he'll get like 60, 70 people will comment on it, and you go through it and like he has not responded to one, he hasn't liked one.
Yeah.
This is somebody
Yeah.
that's going to have a short independent career.
That's what we
Right.
love
You know what I
about you.
Yeah.
About
yeah.
you
You gotta
because you pay
gauge.
attention to what you're
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if
And
you go on there and you're like telling your you're doing your funny comment thing where you
There's
repeating-
reenactments.
Your
Reenactments.
Totally,
Okay, I
totally,
love
totally,
those.
totally.
Definitely.
And-
But you're
and-
pay-
and,
but
of
you're paying
course, you're
attention to
not-
what people are saying.
I am,
Literally.
and I, of course, I'm not always getting every person, and of course, there are days when I might
It
post
doesn't
something and
matter,
I
though. You
can't
read
get online
everyone.
that day. But in
read
general,
everyone.
people see me like this individual. I see them posting all the time, and they never make an effort to
Yeah.
interact with the people
Right.
that are interacting
Right.
with them.
It's
And
so
granted,
important.
and they're probably not even it's not necessarily a negative thing. They're probably not a bad person. It's just they haven't put that two and two together.
Right.
You know? And I was like that, you know, when I started out a little bit more. It wasn't that I was completely self-absorbed. I just didn't even register that that's a thing I'm supposed to do.
Correct.
Yeah, well, sometimes
I made
you
my
get
post.
busy.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You get busy with stuff. Like you get going on your stuff, and you're just so busy.
Absolutely. And some people, the other thing we got to keep in mind, you know, as filmmakers that are promoting ourselves on social media and stuff, and do spend a certain amount of time there, not everybody does that. You know, like I had a member of our production team, and I was kind of getting on them about how they hadn't posted anything or commented on anybody's stuff in like 4 or 5 days leading up to our premiere. And, you know, and I genuinely, like, you know, got on the phone, and I wasn't bitching. I was just like genuinely like, why aren't you? And you know, they thought, and like, they were like, dude, I you know, I get on Facebook once every 5-6 days. You know, and that's just their thing. Don't, and you know, they just didn't even, you know, they're living their life, and that's cool.
Well, that's me. I don't do social media really, and Aaron always gets on my butt about it. He's like, you have all these friends you could utilize, you know, you put something out there and they'll see it, and they, you know, I don't really like advertise for us. I don't really, because Facebook and all the social media is hard for me, so I don't really deal with it very well, so I don't get on it much. And you know, it could go both ways. I mean, honestly, I don't deal with it, but Aaron deals with it enough for both of us.
He does. Like. Aaron's really good at it. And another thing to keep in mind about it, Samantha, and not feel bad about it, is like, it can be very unhealthy. You know, like I you know, I'll fully admit it. Like in the last year, I've gained kind of an unhealthy obsession with it. You know, it's like I know that I have to do it a certain amount, but you know, it got to the point where like I wake up first thing in the morning. That's what I'm looking at. Who responded to this? Who responded to that? You know, I don't do it all the time, but you know, there are days where, you know, like I'll sit there for, you know, like 2-3 hours just bouncing back and forth and not even really accomplishing anything. Just like, wait, I just made this post. I want to see if so-and-so commented on it. Like you start getting obsessive about it. And then you get to a point where you start having negative feelings about people for things that are not necessarily bad. You know, like this, you know, the friend I was talking about that wasn't promoting enough, and I'm mad that they're not commenting on my stuff. You know, and I would be lying if I said a percent of it wasn't. I was a little personally hurt. Like, you're not looking at my stuff. They're not on the platform.
They're not on the platform.
And so if I was in your movie, I'd be that one. I would not be like,
and isn't it weird how you end up favoring the ones that do? That's what's funny. But they do what you do. That's the thing. Like if you have certain actors in your film, you know, some of them will. The ones that are serious about promoting themselves will promote that work, and other ones are just happy to make the work and they don't give a fuck. And then you look at them and like, you really care as much as the other ones do, because
and I hate to admit it, but like, you know, even you know, on Craving, you know, there are 3 or 4, you know, actors that I will go out of my way to cast just because of how they've been promoting on social media. I mean, they also happen to be great actors, but you know, like Gregory Blair, for example, he acted and wrote in it, and I mean, he's doing the work that a director normally would. He's out there like pulling together pull quotes and putting it together on a picture of his.
We know
and
some of
posting
those
it everywhere.
people too.
Or you know, Rachel Amanda Bryant does the same thing. You know, there's others, but you know, they're just the 2 I'm calling out.
So they're not only a good actor, but they're a value in other ways.
Exactly. And like I said, I will go out of my way on every single movie to cast them, because I know not only will they perform, but they're going to promote the hell out of the project.
And that's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
And that's a plus. That's a plus. But I think expecting that from everybody is a bad thing.
You're totally right. And I made a comment I made a post on Facebook, and it wasn't like a bitching comment. I was just talking about you know, like actors promoting or not promoting their work. And one individual, what's his name? He's Drew Maverick or Marvick, I think. Great guy, and he's really good at social media. And he laid out a really cogent thought on it. He was like, you know what, dude, I don't even expect them to do it anymore, because like, and another thing you got to look at is, you know, like with actors, is they're doing like so many different projects, and there are going to be projects that they're happy to be a part of, they're not ashamed of, but that don't necessarily fit in with their like brand. You know, like say like if you have somebody like Drew who actually he has a social media brand, and if your movie is not fitting in his social media brand, like he's going to do a few posts for it out of, you know, the obligation of being in it, but he's not going to be like post.
Yeah.
And that's true. And then, you know, when we're doing low budget movies, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be somebody in the cast that doesn't like the movie or doesn't like their performance or doesn't want their parents to see it, and they're not going to post.
Honestly,
you know?
You're right.
I love everything I'm doing. I love this podcast. I love the movies that we're doing. I love everything, and I don't post about it, but I go on there and I, what do you guys call it? I spam you. Spam them. I go on there.
2 months later, here Sam's on thing. I got 57 freaking notifications.
And that's how it goes. Like literally, that's what it will
when you finally get on, because
I get on, you know, every once a month or
but
whatever.
You know what's funny?
And I spam everybody,
but it helps the post.
Yeah,
and that's what's weird.
Back up.
It brings them back into the algorithm. It really does.
For like,
that's a good hack.
Me personally, it is a negative. Facebook and just social media can be a negative thing for me personally, and my mental health. And I'm sorry, I'm not afraid to admit, I like to take care of my mental health or try. And Facebook and that shit does not help because I get on there and I get sad about stuff like, oh, my family's doing this without me.
Well, they sent you a message on Facebook. You never responded.
Or people send me messages.
You get envious. You get angry. Like there's so many.
It's not good for me.
Yeah.
So I tend to stay away from it. I'll get on there when I'm in the right mood. And then I'll spam everybody.
See, I get something completely opposite of social media. Everybody's stuff that I'm on there looking at, I'll be like, nah, whatever. But then there'll be ones I hit where I'm like, wow, that inspired me. Like what's the filmmaker Chase Dudley? I think he's got
Chase. He's got a really good campaign right now.
Yes, and I'm like, oh my God, see, that's what I'm talking about. Good and look at his smile. Look what he's trying to accomplish here.
And he's such a genuine nice guy.
And I've never met the guy, but
but you can feel it.
You can feel it, right? That's the shit I look for. Everything else, I'm just like, I don't care. It's all that garbage. But then you see stuff like that, and then it's worth it to me. Does that make sense?
This is because I didn't pee before the
show. No, you're fine. You're fine. We're getting right into the show anyway. Jay's got stuff to do. Oh man, it's fascinating what we're doing. I don't know, Jay. Yeah. I don't know, brother.
We're middle-aged people playing make-believe with our friends like we were kids once again.
Yep.
Right. Let's go out in the woods and
make a movie.
Yeah.
And tell a story. Give me that gun. I want to shoot it. It's fake, but it's fun. And try not to go when you shoot it.
Yeah. Don't do it with your mouth.
I was doing it when I was shooting a sniper rifle.
I know.
I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. I had the sniper, and I'm like,
I want the camera right here on my face. Aaron, your mouth moved.
Oh, sorry. I'll do it again.
It's just like when we were doing movies with the kids. Okay, I want you to throw a shot. And what does he do? He walks up, he goes,
and I'm like,
yeah, there's some really funny BTS on. I think it was Once Upon a Time in Mexico, where Antonio Banderas comes in with like two Uzis and he's firing them, and it's 100% digital. They were like rubber guns, and he comes in on a couple of the takes. And he's like,
it's the best.
What are you doing with your mouth, bro?
I don't know. We're playing. I was shooting the guys. Yeah. Oh man. All right, so where's Craving at, Jay? What platforms, brother?
Yeah.
So you can get it on Amazon. It's on YouTube Rental, Google Play, Vudu. It's going to be on Apple TV. It'll eventually be on Tubi, but we're going to run the rental circuit for a little bit longer. Really, Amazon is where I'm trying to push people. It's where we make the most money from it. So I'm like, go rent it on Amazon. Unless you're just totally opposed to Amazon, then, I guess YouTube is fun.
That's right. All right. That's great. I know we're very happy for you.
Yes, buddy.
We've been following you for a long time. And this film in particular, I was glad to see you come back and do a feature, a horror movie.
Yeah.
Your documentary spree got us inspired. Your feature spree now will probably inspire us even more. So
yeah, man, wait till you see I hate when people say, "Wait till you see the next one." But
I say it all the time, dude.
The next one's like insane, bigger, like budget effects, like it's pretty crazy.
I fucking love it. That's called A Hard Place. Is that where you're
Hard Place? Yeah, I have some. I'll spill it. I have some equity investors already lined up. We are going to run a crowdfunding portion for it, but I'll say it's at least double what Craving was.
Ooh,
Very good, buddy.
exciting.
That's
What
exciting.
and what is the genre?
It's horror. It's another monster movie. This one's a little bit more of a like straight up monster movie. It's a like monster versus monster movie.
Yeah.
So it's like a 20 minutes in before and then you get the monster. You don't have to wait till
Yeah, it's like right. This one's like right
three
off
quarters
the
of the
bat.
movie.
Yeah,
Let's just go.
yeah. It's like two different clans of monsters, and again another group of criminals that ends up caught between them and their feud.
Oh, it's like Nightbreed. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like some people have compared the plot synopsis to like Underworld, like a country Underworld.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like a Hatfield and McCoy kind of feud between these two totally different types of monsters, and then these people they get caught up in in the middle of it.
Nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's the hard place.
Exciting.
Hard place.
Super exciting.
Jay Horton, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank
Jay,
you.
you want to know
Yeah.
before we end what I love about you?
Oh.
Yeah, sure.
Because what I love the most about you is that when we started watching you and paying attention to you, and you don't share everything like right off the bat, but you share most things.
Mhm.
But if you want to know like the actual, like actually what did you pay for that? And you ask you personally, you'll say it. You'll tell
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And I love your honesty and your genuine nature.
Yeah.
That means a lot in this industry, I think, because a lot of people aren't willing to share all that information, but you're willing to help people, and you're willing to help, and you've helped us because of that.
Yeah, and it inspired us to even tell numbers
For real.
like on our show.
Yeah,
about
like
GPO,
that's why we
like,
do it.
We
Because of
are
you.
making anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month on
I know,
the GPO from Tubi TV, and to me, I'm like, wow,
That's great.
That's
Yeah, I mean-
fun. That's good. I mean, it's not like 17 grand.
Well,
but not
But it's something.
not everybody's
It's
willing to
something.
share the numbers and the things,
Totally,
and the specifics,
totally, and
all
especially
of that.
if you, like you have an expectation for it, and maybe it's below your expectation for
Yeah.
it, and so some people are embarrassed by it.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
you know what I've come to learn really from doing my channel and talking to more and more filmmakers and seeing more numbers. I mean, the numbers are so all over the place.
All
Yeah.
Like
over
you
the
just can't compare yourself to
No.
any other yardstick,
Uh-uh.
No.
No.
And in the grand scheme of things, like I don't know if you saw that Richard Lampone video that was on my channel where he broke down like 1,700.
I did.
And
Oh,
like
yeah.
the
I know
mean
which one,
average
but I
was
didn't watch
like $20 a month or something.
Yeah.
You know, like it,
I know.
So
Yeah.
like 500 to 1,000, you guys are way on the higher end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Right.
I'm super proud of it, and that's not even, we don't even
And
have
that's
Amazon,
not and if you think about it, like that's a lot of people that have seen your movie.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
like you're
Yeah.
you're making maybe $1 on a view, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. if they go all the way through
Yeah.
in all the commercials.
Mhm.
So that's like,
That's
I'm
not
not good at
bad.
math, but I would assume that's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is a lot of
Yeah.
That is a lot
But
of
I
people.
mean, hands down for you for being open to all that stuff. And even if you don't share it publicly, you're always willing to
share it.
answer it privately to people.
Totally.
And that is cool to me because that's helped us a million times.
Yeah.
Like so much, because that kind of stuff helps you realize like, oh, it's not like this is normal or this is not normal or whatever. Cause you don't know when you're first starting out and you're putting your stuff out there, you don't know.
And I think that's how you built your tribe
It
and the
is,
community
yeah.
you have around
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
So, bless you for that.
I think
bro.
that's a good point. Is people don't know. They because all we know, prior to a few years ago was what we hear on Entertainment Tonight and these like $1 million and that it's not all that.
Hollywood numbers are not our numbers in the indie world.
No,
So they're
no, it's
different.
not. No.
Hollywood
Yeah.
numbers aren't always the numbers in Hollywood either.
Hollywood,
Well, no, they're
yeah,
not.
exactly.
But you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Over-exaggerated.
Yeah, totally.
it helps
Blown
to
up.
know the realistic view of things.
Right.
And
right.
you
yeah.
give that, and that has helped us
Yeah.
so much. So thank you for that, and thank you for being genuine and honest. And we love you.
Yeah, and everybody else
Thank
does
you.
too,
We
Jen.
love you.
So, all right, Chuck, close it out. Buddy.
Well, Mr. Jay Horton.
Oh God! Don't say it like that.
Thank you for joining us around the reel. Thank you for hanging out for. I always want to say. I still want to say a cup of coffee.
You
and
can say
conversation.
a cup
I
of
drank
coffee.
so much fucking coffee this morning. I didn't have coffee this time, so
Cup of vodka and conversation.
a cup of
bad.
coffee, a flask of whiskey, a sip of a nip,
A sip and a nip.
a sip of a nip.
Yep.
But anyway, just remember, it's important to pay attention to what we say when we talk about Mr. Jay Horton, because not only will he share everything that you want to know if you message him privately, because he won't say anything out loud in public about the money it actually cost him, because we all know that the IRS is always listening. So make sure you cover your ass, cover your costs, and remember, everybody out there, think hard, because you're thinking anyway. Love you, buddy. Thank you.
We'll see everybody later.
Bye. For those of you that want to be a guest on Around the Reel, please email Sam at aroundthereel253@gmail.com.
That's aroundthereel253@gmail.com.
Not Messenger. Do not message Aaron on Messenger, because then he has to send you a message that says email Sam at aroundthereel253@gmail.com.
That's aroundthereel253@gmail.com.
How come they can't just message me again?
Because nobody wants to fucking talk to you.
Can anybody reach out? That's an artist, filmmaker, actor?
If you're an artist of any kind, we want to hear from you.
But we are going to vet the crap out of you.
We don't care if you make millions of dollars in Hollywood or if you're just beginning your career in the art industry. We don't care. So everybody that wants to be on Around the Reel, yes, we want you.
That's aroundthereel253@gmail.com.